Hi guys, Paul Gold here, and due to the number of questions I've been getting about the Tennis Turnaround Toolkit, I thought the best thing to do would actually be to just run through the actual toolkit format and show you briefly what's in it so you get more of an idea. I can just explain a few things, and that probably will, hopefully anyway, give you an exact idea about what you're going to be getting into when you get on the other side. So let's get going. Now, the Tennis Turnaround Toolkit is all about introducing flow into your game, and we speak about flow, and I've spoken about flow lots of times, and we know that flow is the number one thing you need if you want to play your best possible tennis. Now, you may not have heard of flow, but I'm sure you can understand exactly what it means, but you surely will have heard about the zone. Now, the zone is when someone's performing at their peak, and we often say that they are in a flow state. So the Tennis Turnaround Toolkit is all about trying to get that flow into your game. So I've broken the toolkit down into 4 modules, each of which represents one letter of the flow. So let's get going. I just want to say that we actually begin the toolkit with a couple of days of mindset. And a why mindset? Well, if you think about it, without the correct mindset, you're actually very, very unlikely to achieve anywhere near the results you actually want for yourself and that I want for you. So we spend the first couple of days just getting the mind right, and that's going to make everything a lot easier as we go forward. But you'll find out more about that when you get on the other side. Let's get in to the 4 components of flow. Now, the first one, F, is foundation. And in the foundation module, what we're going to look at are grips, zonal transmission, modeling, visualization, and nutrition. These are the foundation, the fundamentals of your whole game. Now, we're not going to spend ages going over all the minute details. We're not really here for that. We're looking to make quick but resounding changes in your game. But it's absolutely imperative that we cover everything so at least you can take that knowledge away and begin to understand it. It's the understanding and not the information that is actually more important. So we look at grips. I don't tell you about what grip you should have, but I do suggest that you understand the grips and try and match them up to your game style. We look at zonal transmission, and that's basically how we break the game down and actually give you a paint by numbers way of playing. We can actually prescribe shots based on the different zones of the court and how you interact with them. We look at modeling visualization. Now, this is quite an advanced yet simple way of actually getting the top people in the world to help you improve your game. You'll see more about that on the other side. And finally, in Module 1, the foundation, we're going to look at nutrition, because with poor nutrition, you're actually never ever going to maximize your performance. But an average game with good nutrition is actually going to take you further, because you're actually going to be able to perform at a high level. So we just get those basics nailed down straight away. So let's move on. The second module is the L, logistics. And within this module, we're going to look at concentration zones, the forehand formula, the DIY shot prescription, and synthesized speed. Now, concentration is absolutely key for you to get that mind-body connection, because you can have all the knowledge in your head, but without matching it up to what you're actually doing with your strokes, you're going to be nowhere. You're going to be dead in the water. So concentration is the thing that's going to help you marry the two up. And if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time in terms of your concentration, it just won't happen. So I show you what the zones are and exactly what zone you need to be in depending on what you're doing. The forehand formula is all about utilizing the number one weapon in the game, the forehand. Everyone wants to have a big forehand, but there are 4 things you need to know that are going to be absolutely crucial in terms of having a formula that fits all bounces, spins, surfaces, etc., etc. DIY Shot Prescription is all about matching what we learned in Module 1 with zonal transmission to giving you an easy step-by-step formula for prescribing your own shots and therefore increasing the chances you have of executing successfully. And finally, in Module 2, Synthesized Speed. Now, speed is absolutely crucial in tennis. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the fastest player in the world, but increasing your speed on the court is going to bring your game up to another level. I show you how to do it easily without even leaving the tennis court, and you only need to spend 5 or 10 minutes on it at each session to see great results. Module 3 is the operations section, and within this module we have the point control continuum, mistake management, middling the ball every time, and strong in 3. Now the point control continuum is absolutely key for any kind of tennis strategy. If you understand this, your shot selection and tennis strategy will be above anything you've ever seen before. So this is absolutely crucial. So that's first in Module 3. Then we look at mistake management. Now we all know that errors in tennis is probably the biggest factor in determining winners and losers. And it's not just the making of the mistakes that are important, it's actually how you deal with them. And that is often the difference between the good players and the great players. And even at club level, the players that look good but don't win, and the players that look okay but win. Because the bottom line is, what you want to avoid is committing one error and then making that one error lead to several more. And I'll show you how to do that. We look at middling the ball every time. Now there's one trick, again, which is seen as quite advanced, but is so simple that the pros use in order to time their shots every time. And I'm going to show you that. It's pretty easy to do, a little bit of a mind shift, but once you understand it, it's absolutely going to transform your game. We're going to make the tennis ball almost seem stationary, and it can just sit there for you to strike it. And the last component in this module is strong in 3. Now, plenty of players I see go out there and they're really good in the first set but can lose in 3. There's some more players that start off slowly but can come back maybe in the second set having lost the first, then wilt again and lose in 3. What you need to be able to do is to be as strong in the third set as you can be in the first set. And again, pretty easy to do, and I'll show you how to do that. And finally, Module 4 is all about winning. And within this module, we're going to look at resetting, how to get yourself ready to play every point, every single time, and we can make those changes in around about 10 seconds. We're going to look at killer footwork, because without decent footwork and without knowing the footwork patterns that you need to be employing on the tennis court, you're never going to be in the right position to hit the ball, and therefore you're never going to hit the maximum shot you could do. We're then going to look at doing what you do best. Now, one of the problems many players make on the tennis court is that they try to be something they just can't be. So we'll look at the factors behind constructing the game around your strengths and weaknesses and how to take that onto the match court. And finally, we're going to look at winning with power, because the modern day game is all about power. And the fact is, even without changing your shots, if you're the same level as someone else but you're more powerful, you just win. So to increase your power all across your game, which is pretty easy to do, is actually going to be an awesome benefit for you. So that's the Tennis Turnaround Toolkit. Hopefully that's blown away some of the cobwebs and the smoke from your mind, and it's cleared everything up for you. Remember, spaces are limited because I do work with the people on the toolkit pretty closely, so I can't just have an infinite number of people on the actual program. But please, if you think it's for you, just sign up whenever you see notification, and I really look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bye for now.